It's Jeff here, LA County's 1023 XLC. Impact Wrestling is coming back to Chicago after a little bit of a hiatus. But of course, things are back to normal, and we know why, because Impact Wrestling is coming to town August 12th and 13th. On Friday night, the show is Emergence. That's going to be a great show. It's going to be on Impact Plus and on YouTube for Impact Ultimate Insiders. And then on Saturday night, the Second City Slamm. That is going to be something that will air on Impact Wrestling's flagship weekly TV show, Impact on Access TV. So today I have a mainstay with Impact Wrestling, Eric Young, hanging out with me. Eric, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing really good, man. Really good to be here.
Excellent. So I appreciate you taking the time to speak with us here. A lot of great things that are going on with Impact Wrestling. So you're going to be a part of this whole thing that's happening, Emergence and Second City Slamm. How excited are you for that?
I mean, it's no secret Chicago is an amazing wrestling city. I think anybody that's a pro wrestling fan understands that. And Chicago is one of my favorite cities in the United States. So it's a double whammy for me. I love it here, and coming to work here and being part of bringing Impact and that brand to this city. Match made in heaven, man, for sure. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Very cool. Now, over your illustrious career, you've had encounters with so many different wrestlers. You and I were just kind of talking here off the cuff a little bit just about Chris Jericho and his longevity, and how he's still able to perform and things like that. Do you have any cool Chris Jericho stories that you can maybe share?
Yeah, I mean, I got a bunch that I can't say, but I mean, the truth is, he's a good guy. A guy that I met years and years ago. I think it's something about the Canadian connection, like the Canadian guys have always kind of looked out for the other Canadian guys. So Christian and Edge and him would always kind of like look out for me when I started doing tryouts there in the late 90s and early 2000s. I mean, we were talking a little bit off air, just like the craziness of how many times he's reinvented himself, the fact that he's over 50 and still one of the most prominent figures in wrestling, and has been for almost 20 years.
For sure.
It's amazing. And a guy that is vertically challenged like me, not the biggest guy, was probably told that when he started years before me. And I remember hearing it in 1997, like, you're just not tall enough, you're not big enough, you're never going to be able to do it because everyone was so big. And the business has definitely changed, in my opinion, for the better. And he's a guy that I look up to. I ask him for advice here and there. Just a good dude, good guy to be around, hilarious, wild, likes to drink vodka, so do I, so that's why we get along, I think.
So do you think any of that, other than the Canadian connection that you have, go Team Canada, do you think that has anything to do with maybe the time that he spent in Japan, that he has this longevity? Because I look at a lot of these Japanese wrestlers, some of these older guys like Suzuki.
Yeah.
Suzuki's in his 50s and he looks great.
Yep.
What do you think that it is about, maybe wrestling in Japan or that Japanese style that gives these guys such long careers?
Yeah, I think part of it with Chris is he's done so many different things, and in no way am I comparing me and him, but a part of his versatility is something that I've always inspired to be, and I think I've shown that too. And part of that, he's wrestled all over the world. He wrestled all over the world before anyone knew who he was. Like before he showed up in WCW. He had wrestled in Mexico, lived in Mexico City. Like went on massive tours of Japan, wrestled all through the South, part of Smoky Mountain, part of USWA, wrestled all over Canada. So he was a pro already by the time he got to TV, So part of that is due. And I think the reality is just understanding what people want to see and the entertainment part. Like he's got his own band, he's got TV shows, he's doing all these other things because he understands entertainment. And in the end, that's what wrestling is, in its core.
Well, you bring up something very interesting about working on TV outside of doing wrestling, and you did that for a little while too with Animal Planet.
Yeah.
How much fun did you have doing that?
That was the best, man. Yeah, life-altering experiences in a million ways. It was a really weird thing that just kind of fell into my lap, and I just took it and ran with it, and went on all these, like, I can swap fishing stories with anybody. Like I got a shark for my paddleboard, like I deep sea breath hold free diving for octopus in Hawaii, 120-foot cliff diving in Hawaii. So did a bunch of stuff that was I'm glad that they paid me to do it, but I would have done it for free. I'm a very experiential person, and I love to experience things and do different things. And I met all these amazing people, went on these amazing adventures, and it opened a ton of doors for me, for sure.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you've got to travel the world, I mean, just through wrestling and everything, too. Outside of the wrestling in the States here and I guess the continental U.S. and what have you, and in Canada, what are some of your favorite places to wrestle?
Yeah, I really love Japan. I haven't been there very many times, but I've always been fascinated with the country and the culture. Wrestling is very respected there. You're treated like a professional athlete. It's you're not a goofy TV guy or a clown or a character. You're an athlete, and that's how you're looked at and how you're held to standards over there that are just different than they are here. Really love there. I love the United Kingdom. I just got back from there. I was over there in Nottingham and Coventry and in a couple places. So any chance I get a chance to travel and get paid to do it, I'll jump at it. But I mean, my favorite part of other than the physical part of performing wrestling in between the ropes, my favorite part of wrestling is the travel that I get to do.
Very cool.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so in the UK, you did some seminars and everything like that too, right?
Yep.
So how is it kind of giving back to the industry and helping some of these young up-and-comers? How does that feel too? I mean,
it's the circle of life, right? And not everyone can do it, and not everyone has the opportunity to do it. I had a wrestling school for a few years. Mostly it was just a place so I had a ring so I could stay sharp. I was doing tryouts and, kind of working on advancing my career to the point where I was on television. I was really close. But I trained Sean Spears, Ty Dillinger. I trained Crazy Steve, a guy, Jake O'Reilly, who worked for All Japan, helped train Cody Deaner, helped train Chris Chambers. So, like, pound for pound, guy for guy, my wrestling school did very, very well. Yeah, I did very, very well. So I'm really proud of that. And the seminars is a way for me to, teach things that I've learned. And the reality is you can't know what you don't know. And experience can't be bought. It can't be taught. It can't be read. Like, you have to do it, and then you understand it. And I was pretty sure I knew what I was doing when I was 25. And as someone that's 42, I can tell you I didn't have much of a clue. So yeah, it's a really cool part of the industry, a thing that I love to do. I love to train and be around young people that are hungry and passionate and are anything I tell them to do, they just do it. You know what I mean? And they don't ask questions, and I like that, and I like to teach. And I think I'm pretty good at it. I think I've had a bunch of really good students from my school and people really good feedback from a seminar. So it's a really cool thing for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, I guess like another question that I have, you bring up being teaching and stuff like that. Ric Flair, he's going to be wrestling his last match again, which it's kind of amazing. I mean, what is he, 72 years old?
Yeah.
73 years old?
Yeah.
So, I mean, can you see yourself wrestling at
Absolutely.
72 or
Absolutely
73?
Not. Yeah, absolutely not. And I might be physically able to. I said this to myself when I first started a long time ago. 1997 is when I started. The world was way different and wrestling was way different. But that was my first year of training and being in the business is 1997. And I always said the second I can't do it the way I want, and the second I feel I have to be dragged through, or I don't want to do something because it hurts or I'm old or whatever, I'll retire. I told that to Scott D'Amore when I signed my contract here 2 years ago. I'm not anywhere close to that. But the second I feel like that, I feel like I'm a step off or a step behind, I will retire and you will never see me again. That's just how I look at it. It's not for everybody. It's obviously it's in Ric's blood. It's the reason he's Ric Flair is because of professional wrestling, and he's done all this other amazing thing. And I just hope that he doesn't get hurt, man. I mean, he's got a pacemaker. It worries me. It does.
Yeah. I feel the same way.
I would say that to him if he was here. It worries me. It's obviously, it's going to be a huge celebration of wrestling in Nashville that week. I live there. I will be wrestling the day before he wrestles at the fairgrounds on a local show. I will not go to the show that he's on. I'm worried for him, man. I'm really worried for him.
I totally understand. Yeah, a lot of respect. There's a ton of respect.
In the ring, bell to bell, one of the greatest to ever do it. My first pair of wrestling boots, I had my initials on the side of it because of him. He's in my top 5, probably my top 3 all time, bell to bell. He's a god in the pro wrestling world and a person in the wrestling world that I respect completely for the things that he's done. I don't think he's making the right decision. I think the people that are promoting it are not making the right decision. And I just pray that it goes well and it goes smoothly and everyone's okay.
No, I feel exactly the same way. Yeah, it's crazy. But I guess I get it in a sense because, like you said, he is wrestling. Everything about Ric Flair is professional wrestling.
It's in his blood.
And for him, it's, yeah. But yeah,
if anyone can do it, it's him.
I wish him the best, for sure.
He was in a plane that fell to the sky. If anyone can do it, it's Rick. And
right.
I want him to be fine, and I hope it goes fine. And I mean, the reality is he's invincible and probably outlive me. But
he'll outlive us both. Yeah, for sure.
I just hope that it goes well. It's a really cool thing, and no one's forcing him to do it. This is all on his own volition, and that's what he's decided to do, and he wants to do it one more time. And I get it. Like, I'll miss the locker room, and I'll miss that. The reality is performing and doing those things. It's a drug, that you can't buy. And I mean, it's something that I will miss. I know that for sure, but it doesn't define me. It doesn't. It's my job, and it's something that I've loved since I was 3 years old. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't define who I am. I won't need it when I'm 60. Wow.
Yeah, I was actually in a media scrum recently, and it's not to throw names around or anything like that, but John Moxley said, hey, I've done every drug there is, and professional wrestling, there is no drug like professional wrestling.
It doesn't come close. He's 100% right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. So Eric Young with Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling is going to be part of a lot of cool things happening here in Chicago, August 12th and 13th. Emergence and Second City Slamm. So for more details, check out impactwrestling.com. Also follow Eric on Twitter, the Eric Young, at the Eric Young. That's where you can find Eric over there. So Eric, with Impact Wrestling, there's a lot of veteran talent like yourself.
Yep.
And then there's a lot of young talent too. With that young talent that's there, who are some of the young talent that are part of Impact Wrestling that really catch your eye, both as male and female performers?
Yeah, I mean, the first and foremost is Josh Alexander, the world champion right now, a guy that I've known for years. Mm-hmm. The first time we've ever really crossed paths was at Slammiversary, the main event. That's the first time we wrestled one-on-one. He's leading the charge. I mean, he's the flag bearer of the company, and I'm proud of him, and I'm proud to be part of a company that's led by him. He's a universally respected talent all over the world, and it is a TNA fan. I mean, he it's what got him into wrestling, mm-hmm. and an Impact fan, and him being here and choosing to be here. The reality is I think Josh could work wherever he wants, and he chose Impact Wrestling because he knows what I know is there's something special going on. And on the 12th and 13th, if you're hearing this and you're seeing this, and you're a wrestling fan, or even if you're a casual person that follows the radio station, buy a ticket and come to the show. And if you don't enjoy it at least some, or you totally hate it, you can message me and I will send you the money. I'm telling you, there's nothing like live pro wrestling. My two loves in the world are hockey and pro wrestling. And the reality is, to really experience them and get the full feel of what's going on, you have to see it live. On television, if you know everything about it, it's cool. But nothing can compare to pro wrestling live. Nothing. People that are not fans, I when I was doing the fishing show, these are artsy people that have done documentaries, high levels of education. They think wrestling's stupid. They want to go, because I was there and we're in New York and we're at the Queen's Ballroom. I got them tickets and all these people come down and they were addicted. They're like, every time you're here in New York, you have to let us know, because the truth is they're experiencing the drug with us. Like, I'm getting it directly, but you're getting this as the runoff. As a wrestling fan at a show, you're feeling that energy and you're wrapped up. And the truth is, the crowd can be just as big a part of the show as we are, and that's the beauty of it. And there's the best way to experience it is experience it live.
Yeah, without a doubt. So Impact Wrestling coming to Chicago, Cicero Stadium, August 12th and 13th. Emergence and Second City Slamm. Eric, thank you so much for your time today.
Appreciate it, man. This is fun.
All right. All right, good deal.